Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, where we talk all things Nebraska sports all the time. Interviews, breakdowns, rants, and more. Expect it all from the Nebraska diehard, Coach Ben Audi. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, or follow button and enjoy this conversation about our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, everybody. This is game week. Nebraska Cornhuskers play football this week. I got my new game day hat this year. Going to be wearing it for every game. It's finally here. It's finally here, everybody. It has been a long time coming, but it is why we are all fans. Again, shout out to the Killigans for letting me use that song for the intro. Shout out to all of you for tuning into this. And make sure you give this YouTube page a like, subscribe, and a share to your friends. If you're listening on audio, give us a follow. If you're checking me out on social media, hey, give us a follow. I love talking smack. I love having fun. I love having fun on all the social media. We got big things ahead, and we have a couple of announcements before we get into it, okay? So first thing we got to talk about is this Thursday, 8/29 at 6:30 p.m., I am doing a live watch-along on my YouTube, X/Twitter, and Facebook at the BA Coaches Show for all of those accounts. We're going to be watching Colorado versus North Dakota State. This is going to be live. We're going to be reacting. I'm going to have other Nebraska content creators on. We're going to be watching. Just give us a good chance to kind of just sit, watch some football, and just kind of gives us a preview of our week 2 opponent. And it's a big ESPN game. We know Colorado's a rival, so we're just going to check it out. We might have a couple respectful Colorado, like if they can keep it civil, Colorado fans, just sit here and talk ball. I'm not trying to have debates or arguments or nothing. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm going to be at the first game, so I can't really do a watch along for that when I'm at the stadium. So we're just going to do a watch along of the Colorado game just because, hey, it's, week 1, big time. This is a big announcement, though. If you've followed me on social media, you already know this. But if you only listen to the audio or follow me, just through YouTube, the BA Coaches Show is on the Character Chronicles website. I just misspoke there, so hopefully this doesn't kind of ruin things for me because it's just there. But if you go to the characterchronicles.com, you go to the content page, creators, all my YouTube content uploads directly straight to the Character Chronicles website. This gives us a great chance to get to a bigger audience. It partners with them. It helps them out. CharacterChronicles.com is doing a really good thing right now. What they're doing is giving you a free spot to go find all sorts of Nebraska content. So go check that out. Go check me out on the Character Chronicles. Thank you to Adam Carricker. Adam Carricker is one of my favorite players ever. One of my favorite autographs I have is from him. My grandma got it at a convention last year. She met him at. She got it at the back of a deck of cards box. That's pretty cool. So it's been really cool to text back and forth with him. I had a phone call with him, getting this all set up. It's amazing, and I'm mind blown. We've seen tremendous growth on YouTube ever since my radio appearance on 1620 The Zone. We're up almost 200 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. So this is huge. We're over 350 right now, so that's been huge. But as we get into it, before we get into everything, you guys already know about this, but the charity scramble, go to genredpod.com. Go check this out. You guys already know this all going to a great cause for charity, for the funds for the storms that came through Nebraska and Iowa on 4/26. Going to be in Eagle, Nebraska. It's already been shared throughout the whole Nebraska community in the eyes of some players and coaches. So this is a big deal. If you want to sign up, go to genredpod.com. All the money has to be paid up front. You can't pay it separately, but if you want to sponsor a whole, all that information's on the website. I could just try and read it all to you, but if you're an audio listener, go to genredpod.com, click on the link to play golf. It'll be in the top left of the screen. If you're a YouTube listener, this picture I just showed up here, I'll pop it up again. Click on a picture that looks like that, and all that will show up. So make sure you go do that. Ken's a really good guy. Yeah, we'll get into it when we get to the end of all the content stuff to break. But Ken and I you're gonna see a lot more stuff between with us. So on to what's going on today. Today's topics. Okay, we're gonna go 3 more film breakdowns, 3 more plays from 2023. We're gonna give the content schedule update. We're gonna go through the Q&A segment from Facebook and Twitter. Then we're gonna give an update on the BA Coaches Show. It's going to be important, like just kind of what to expect from me going forward, and then we're going to get out of here today. So with that, we're just going to get right into it. I changed my mind on how I wanted to do the BA breakdown. So when it says clip 1 or clip 2 in the top left corner, ignore that. I went in a different order. You guys like the scheme breakdown, so I kind of did a scheme breakdown in the first, and then to end it, I just wanted to show off some athleticism. So here we go. Coach BA breakdown, episode, I guess, 2. This is going to be big for us. This will be a big growth for us. My last video has over 10,000 views, so it's a big deal. You guys like this content. This is the last one of us doing last year's stuff. I was just trying to do something again, so I picked out 3 more plays to break down. But starting next week, we're going to be having game like from the day before, so it's going to be a big deal. But let's get right into it. All right, for this clip here, you're going to see this in full speed, and then we're going to break it down. You guys should remember this play. Boom, wide open touchdown. How did that happen? And I'll tell you right now, that play should not have happened. But we had some very bad execution by Northern Illinois and some great execution by Thomas Fedoni. Okay. So as you can see, here, let me get this out of the way. Sorry. The run game that we are gashing them with is starting to add up on the numbers, right? You got this safety walked up. You got linebackers ready to bite on it, right? We do end up. Hold on, I might have gone a little bit. No, I'm good. This is where I want it, okay? This is why I'm saying these run game numbers add up. You got 1, 2, 3 guys covering nothing. What are they covering? They're covering nothing. Something I did want to point out, though, Northern Illinois did do something very good. This defensive end right here does a fantastic job of rerouting Thomas Fedoni and chipping him. The problem is, 1, Thomas Fedoni did a great job battling through that to still get vertical, right? But they are covering nothing right here. They're not covering a soul. They have no idea, okay? So as you can tell with the single high safety, I'll tell you guys right now, this is cover 3. This is going to end up being cover 3. So this play, cover 3, you should not be getting a tight end coming up the seam wide open. That's just not this play. This defensive coverage call was a good call. But what happened is, so this is what we'll call cover 3 cloud coverage, okay? And we'll talk about that at some point as we kind of get to the real games coming up here soon. But here's what I'll tell you cover 3 cloud is, okay? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. If I scroll a little bit, okay? This corner, deep. This safety is supposed to have the middle third. And then this far safety is going to have the, I guess, field side third. Okay? So we got a third to the boundary, third in the middle, third to the field. This corner is going to end up having the flats here. And this is our nickel guy. We'll talk about him in a second, but he's going to have a curl flat, okay? But as you can see, our safety does not, Northern Illinois safety does not cover the middle of the field. He does not. So by the time this ball gets thrown, you can see it looks like cover 2 because you only got 2 deep. But I'll tell you, just the way he's running, that's cover 3. That was supposed to be cover 3. And when you look at all underneath, and when we talk about this guy right here, okay, it should have been safety deep, corner deep, and then we had hooks underneath, okay? But that's not what happened. The field side corner here does a great job riding him. And you can't really see it off camera, but see how he goes with him? Then you see him put his hand on there real quick. Now he's going to take the flats. He does a great job. Then that deep safety does a great job. This guy right here does a great job shutting this down. But let's talk about him because this is the part I want to focus on what Fedoni tries really good. This is what a lot of defenses, this nickel defender, what he's playing right now, some people are going to call this cat. Some people are going to call this bait. It's, sly like a cat. All that really means is he's trying to bait an interception here. He's trying to play this hash, and then if that ball gets to the middle, he's going to try and pick it. But what Thomas Fidone does a great job of doing here, you don't always see this from tight ends, especially college tight ends, is once he gets right inside that hash, he realizes that and he starts going more vertical. Yes, he does drift to the middle of the field a little bit once that ball is thrown, but a lot of times what you'll see these tight ends do is drift over because they see all this space. They're going to keep drifting over. And if he does that, 24 is getting a pick right here. Fidone does a great job of going vertical instead of horizontal, running that seam instead of a cross. A seam would just be kind of going vertical. Yes, he did end up going a little bit, but he was so wide open at that point, it doesn't matter. So by him doing that, it gives Thomas Fidone a longer and bigger window to get that ball into. I mean, look at that. If he's all the way over here, that window's pretty tight. Pretty tight. So that was a great job by Thomas Fidone. This is the reason I'm showing this play is yes, it was a busted coverage, but I wasn't trying to really, I'm trying to kind of hype up our guys here of Thomas Fidone fighting through that defensive end and then realizing that that safety bit so hard and start going vertical. Wide open touchdown. So we'll go it in full speed. Look at this right here. Boom. Hopefully, once I play it in real time, you guys start to see some of those things. I hope that's starting to kind of help out. Boom. All right. Next play we're going to show. I'll play it in full speed for you guys. And I bet some of you guys won't see this right away. It's going to be, who do you think the hero of this play here is? I want to hear it from you. Who do you think made the play? Think it's any of these guys in the pile? Nope. Yeah, they deserve the credit for making the play, but that's not who the hero of this play is. Okay, let's look at the front right away. Okay, this is our 4-2. We've talked about it a bunch on this channel. Got the 3 down lineman, linebacker walked up. Okay, double tight end, no receiver on this side, so we got Tommy Hill walked up. Okay, got the misdirection. Iowa does a great job of selling this. I'll be real. They do a great job. We bite on it. I can't get mad at us for biting on it, right? Like, they did a great job of selling it. Because if they do hand that off here and we don't bite, we're gashed, right? So I'm not mad. Like, look, we bit hard on this for, it's cool. That we did the right thing. Now we got 2 lead blockers here. And oh my goodness, we are out leveraged. Holy cow, we are out leveraged, right? These 2 guys do a great job of peeling to come do that. But watch Tommy Hill right here. Here, I guess I should explain this. This is my bad. I'm sorry. I'll get better at these film breakdowns as we go. But he's the force player. Okay, outside contained force player, whatever you want to call it. So basically, all that means for him, run gap responsibility wise, not taking, but no one gets outside of him running the ball. No one's supposed to be getting outside of him. That's his only job in the run game. His job isn't to make tackles. His job is to keep everything inside to where all the help is. Oh my goodness, look how far deep he is. And you could look at this and say, oh man, he did not do a great job. Yeah, he got out leveraged because he bit so hard inside. But watch this. He doesn't take on this guy, who a lot of people would. The easier thing here would be to take on that guy. He's still trying to fight to get to that outside. He doesn't just, what the easy thing would do here, if you're trying to make a big play, you're trying to make a play here. No, he's going to try and either come right inside, try and sneak his way through to make that play, but no. He's just trying to get outside of the running back. He's not paying attention to this guy at all. He's not going to try and battle him, try and sneak around him. Tommy Hill made that play right there, boys. The way that, he could have given up on this play. If he goes inside, let's just say he does cut inside, or he does try to pull a move and just try and go right on that seam, right on the hash, right? He tries to make the play, it's done. If he tries to make the play, it doesn't happen. Sure, maybe he gets lucky and makes his tackle, but broken tackle, boom, we're talking about a huge gain. Tommy Hill is the reason this tackle is made for a couple yards. Look at that. Because now, look what happens. Because Tommy Hill does that, we get 6 people at the point of attack, not including the contain guy, not including contain. This is what we're talking about when I say that Tony White's players play so hard for him and know their responsibilities and battle hard. This is it right here. Just look at the way he fights for that outside. Instead of taking him on and trying to be hero ball, we'll play it in full speed. Hopefully, my goal with these is once I play it in full speed, after explaining it, I hope you guys see what I see as I'm watching the game in real time. Fight for that outside. Boom. Look at that tackle. I'll play it one more time since I paused it. My bad. That's the hero. That's the hero of this play right here. So we got this first play here. Just kind of want to show it off a little bit, and boom, right? Obviously, we all know that was a fantastic play by Prince Will. So this isn't going to be necessarily a scheme breakdown. This is just going to be a showcase of this athleticism and how important that athleticism is to have off the edge. You've heard me talk about that channel. You've heard about me talk about that on the channel before. Okay. So here I'll just kind of talk about this. We got our 5-man front. We got a backer walked up. Then we got 5-1. This is what everyone's going to have a different name for this. This is something you're going to figure out on my page. But this is what we're going to call what I call in my defense a blood front, which is just 5 and 1. Okay. But this is why having this athleticism on the defense is so huge. Okay. See that right there? This gives the defense so many looks. This is why all this athleticism is huge. So if you're looking at this from the quarterback standpoint, you're going to assume that these 5 are coming at you, right? Or maybe one of them drops back. If it'd probably be that linebacker, he could be faking, okay? But that linebacker comes, then you also see this linebacker. So what you're thinking here is you're getting pressure, right? You're getting pressure. This is what I've talked about. I talked about this with Nick Henrik when he was on, right? It is so important here, okay? Defensive end and the jack. Go in, boom, right? I want to show this off by Prince Will. Just watch him. This was beautiful. The way he takes that step, then as soon as he realizes that ball, that change of direction is insane. That is a huge change of direction in a textbook tackle. But here's how I'll tell you. I've coached young quarterbacks. I've coached young quarterbacks at a national all-star game, right? I was a quarterbacks coach for that. One of the biggest things you're going to read here is as soon as you see pressure, look at his eyes. He's looking boom, boom, cover, cover. And this guy who maybe would take the back, which would be a box call, back out my side, right? Not there. That backer's coming. So this young quarterback is going to instantly look to the check down because that's what all his rules tell him. His rules are going to tell him this guy's matched up. This guy's matched up. The guy who should be taking the back out is coming. So what's he do? Hits it. He has no idea. He has no idea. And that's just something that you're just not going to see a ton of from a lot of defenses. This is why I said Tony White's defense is so creative. You just do so many things that just watch that. The change of direction is just insane. So that wasn't necessarily a scheme breakdown. That's just something I kind of wanted to show a little bit of for you guys of just the amazing things that you can do in this defense with a stud like that. So there we go. That is that edition of Coach BA Breakdown. I am going to have a lot of fun with these as we kind of get towards the real games once they get started this week. But content schedule update. All right, let's just talk about it real quick before we get into the question and answers, get out of here. This will be one of the shorter episodes, I guess, just because I've heard that some of you guys want a little bit shorter episodes and just more coach stuff and all that. But we're going to talk about it. As you've noticed, you follow me, like on YouTube, we're going 150 straight days. We started week 0 Saturday, and we're going all the way till the national championship game. There'll be a video posted every day. Some of them will be new, like short form. Some will be clips from the podcast, or like today, you're getting a full podcast posted today. So that's going to be the content schedule update. A segment on Generation Red every Sunday night, doing the live like recap of the game. You're going to see a Coach BA breakdown, so make sure you follow them. Some of them will overlap, but I've actually thought maybe I'll throw them a couple, 1 or 2 new plays that I'm not doing on my channel. We'll just see how it goes. Sometimes it'll be overlap, sometimes not. I'm working on that, but yeah, that's going to be starting on Sunday. So check that out. So I guess that'd be what, September 1st, I guess. I think. I don't know. I'm not good at days, but yeah, game's on 31. My bad. I'm kind of rambling here, but yeah, starting the 20 why am I doing this, man? I'm so sorry. And I'm not doing another take of this. You guys are getting it all in once. But starting September 1st on Generation Red. Hopefully Ken's not upset with me for misspeaking so much there. My mind's been scrambling today. I'm sorry. But September 1st, nighttime Generation Red's live stream is going to get Coach BA breakdown. So with that, before we wrap this thing up, let's get into the Q&A segment from Facebook, Twitter. Just got a few of them today. What, in your opinion, should be an acceptable margin of victory for the UTEP game? You guys know that I don't really like the whole, we need to win by this much. We need to win by this much, right? You guys know my thoughts on that, just because it's like, okay, we're a 28-point favorite. So you're telling me if we win 34-7, that's a letdown game because we won by 27 points? I say no. That's just me. I've coached teams where it's like, oh, we're playing against a team that, we made all the way state championship game, but we only beat this team by 35. We beat them. It's like, hey, first game of the year especially. But I will say we need to win. I'd say I like this game if we win by 20 plus. If we if we win by less than 20 plus, I'd be a little like, maybe. But like I said, I don't like the whole, we need to win by this much. Hey, we can't be greedy. We are not in a position as Nebraska fans to be greedy. Do we all agree with that? This one, I believe, comes from Ken. What will the first touchdown be of the season? Run or pass? I'm going very specific here. Pass, Dylan Raiola to Thomas Fedoni, 16-yard touchdown pass. That's my prediction. 16-yard touchdown pass. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers at this point. Kind of thought it'd be fun. Who are some of my breakout players on offense and defense? I'll pick one for each. Breakout player on offense. I've talked about Thomas Fedoni a lot, so I'll go Thomas Fedoni. Then we'll also go defense. We will go Jamari Butler. Yes, I know he was our leading sack last year. I know he was our leading tackle for loss last year. But for some weird reason, he doesn't get the credit that he needs, deserves. I don't know why. Sorry. He doesn't get that credit for some reason. So I'm going to say Jamari Butler. Read on Turner Corcoran. Think he can cover the blind spot? I think he can. I'm confident with him. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be Teddy no matter what. There's still a decent chance Turner was going to start. So I'm not worried about that. He took a lot of the first team reps before Teddy Prohaska ever got injured. So I think he can cover the blind spot. And we just got to think, you guys remember last year, at the beginning of last year, people were not high on Bryce Benhart. And now look at him. He's got a good shot playing in the NFL, one of our better players. But this is the question that might get me fired up. I've been ready for this one. What are some other Husker content creators that you recommend? We got a new Husker fan here. They're only a Husker fan because they watch my show. And I do appreciate that. This came from someone that I know in real life that's didn't grow up a Nebraska fan. So they want to know some more Husker content creators. So I'll start there, and then we're going to kind of take a different direction with this. Okay. I highly recommend, and if I don't mention you, don't be upset. Like, I'm just naming some of the guys I'm really cool with, people I'm really cool with. There's a lot of great ones out there, right? The No Block, No Rock guys are fantastic. You guys have heard me talk about this on this page before. I write a blog for them on their website. I love those guys. I love those guys at No Block, No Rock. Generation Red, they do fantastic stuff. That's why I'm collabing with them and getting a video, the breakdown on their page. Ken and Scott both. I've never got to meet Scott, but Ken has been fantastic to me in person, through DMs, through text messages, all that. Ken is fantastic to me. The Husker Army podcast, they have a really good thing going on right now. They got a multi-time national champion on them, right? So they do really good things. There's a whole bunch of really good things. But here's kind of where I want to go with this. Okay, it is starting to get to me a little bit that a lot of these big content creators that have this such big platform and they're a piece of garbage humans. I'm going to be real. That's what ticks me off. Okay. It ticks me off that there's guys like Generation Red or like the Husker Army podcast that have a couple hundred subs and they're doing really well. But they can't get the time of day from some of these guys that are huge and they're a piece of garbage humans. It ticks me off that some of these guys that think that they have such a big page that they're worth more, that they're better than you, right? It just really, and I'm not saying everyone with the big page is bad. Go Big Redcast. Love those guys. Love Go Big Redcast. They got a whole bunch of subscriptions on their YouTube page. Justin Adams, voice of college football. I've been on his show. He's fantastic to me. He's one of the best guys out there. I didn't mean to not mention him when I was going through great shows, right? Justin Adams is fantastic. I love that guy. He's one of the best, most genuine humans on this platform. They got other guys, right? You got other people that are, oh, they're real big, so they're going to go messaging the smaller content creators saying, oh, I'd love to be on your show. Oh, yeah, but you got to pay me hundreds of dollars to do it. They're trying to benefit them. You got piece of garbage humans hiding behind burner accounts, talking shit to high school kids, talking shit to players' families. They don't have to acknowledge any of the bad stuff they did. They just get a huge platform to go out there and do it. Go make money off talking about Husker sports without ever acknowledging all the BS they had in their past. They're just going to move on, block anyone that talks about it. That's what ticks me off in this Husker space, is that some of these guys, here's why it ticks me off, okay? Is that we are giving some of these guys, we're basing like how good of a person or how good their content is, or just how good they are, just based on that subscriber number. And that's what ticks me off. That's why I'm suggesting like part of the reason I didn't suggest those other guys, they have huge pages. Okay. I love those guys. I'm not, but like Generation Red needs more love. I'm being for real. Generation Red deserves a lot of love. They do a lot of hard work and they work hard on that show. Husker Army, they work hard on that show. No Block, No Rock. It blows my mind they're not at 1,000 subscribers right now. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind. And I know all you guys are going to get there. Right? I'm nowhere near there. So I'm not even saying like, oh, I'm just saying like it ticks me off that a lot of Husker fans think of some of these guys that have huge YouTube channels that are pieces of crap humans and think of them as better than the smaller YouTube pages just because that subscriber count isn't as high. It ticks me off, man. So I'm sorry to go on a little bit of rant about that. But man, there's some really good people working really freaking hard and they can't get any love. They don't get the love from the masses because their page isn't as big. That's what ticks me off. Just when you got actual like terrible human beings that won't admit to their actions or won't admit they did something wrong blowing up. That's what ticks me off. And I'm sorry to go on a little bit of a rant there. I'm starting to get a little bit fired up and it just ticks me off because there's just some really good people that need to be doing better than what they are. And it's not their fault. It ticks me off that we just prop some of these guys up as God when they're pieces of garbage. That's all. But we're going to move on from that's the last question. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're going to wrap this up. The important updates on the BA Coaches Show. We're going to be doing an episode every Wednesday with the preview. So this Wednesday, you're going to get my UTEP preview. All we're going to do is talk about UTEP. All we're going to do is do UTEP film breakdowns and what they're going to try and do to us and what we should try and do to them. give a little final score prediction, even though I literally just did one. I'm going to do a final score prediction for every game like the Wednesday before. If you follow the Red Zone Reflections blog on NBNRpodcast.com, my bad, NBNRpodcast.com, my blog, my articles that drop game preview, those will drop on Thursday mornings, those will drop. So that'll go out Thursday morning, UTEP preview. It'll be a good time. I enjoy my blog sometimes a little bit more than I enjoy my video content, but we're going to have video content every day, every single day. I know the views might not be as high, but we're going to keep it going. So just remember, before we get out of here, just a couple quick things. Remember this, okay? Remember that we're going live to watch Colorado game, and go check out characterchronicles.com. I'm very thankful for all this. I'm very thankful for the support. I hope our content just keeps on growing. But I'm going to get out of here. It's a little bit over 30 minutes. I hear that some of you guys like the 30 to 40-minute episodes better than the hour one. So we're going to try and do that for a little bit. But as always, GBR and in rule we trust.